Hello and welcome to Stroke by Stroke. Today I am going to try this new paper that I have. It's New York Central Art Supply. I got it through Jerry's Artarama, and this is 7x10 140 pound cold press, and it's 20 sheets and it is a block, meaning I don't need to tape it or anything like that. And I'm also going to try and do this image. I'm going to change the proportions, obviously, because this is square and the paper is rectangular. But we all know that I have a tendency to just use this as a rough suggestion. So I'm going to put that picture up for you. And then I am going to go ahead and start painting. And I'm going to start with my granulating white nights to put in the underpainting. And yeah, so let's just dive right on in. And a little bit about the image. That is from probably 1994 or 1995, when I was in graduate school, and I ended up being a pottery major, but I did all kinds of things. Photography was very much one of my things, and I was part of a documentary photography grant. And so I chose to document a local potter. And unfortunately, he passed away a while ago. But this was originally a photo of his salt kiln. And it was in black and white. So I took the picture and put it through Be Funky, which I really kind of have a good time with that program. And so yeah, definitely into that. So, and I love just abstractifying. Sure, we're going to make up words today. Why not? My photos. And the reason that I always use my own photos is because I know that I have the right to use them. And even though some of the stuff I do with Be Funky uses AI, it feels ethical to me because I am not using somebody else's photos to take my own, or to make my own artwork. So that's how I reconcile that with myself. So, and I think it's important that we pay attention to the ethics. Okay, something I am noticing, unlike the other watercolor blocks I have tried, this one, it is buckling, which is odd. I don't think it should be buckling, but here we are. I'm trying to find something cheaper than arches that I can continue using. Because I really do love Arches watercolor paper, but it is so pricey. But it's worth it, you know. I may have to make choices between whether or not I want to use premium paper or premium watercolors and oil pastels. Yeah, so I'm trying to avoid that choice as long as I possibly can, but we'll have to see. And here are my QOR core watercolors because I don't have any kind of yellow. So, oops. It's all right. That'll work. And I didn't want to get out my M. Graham watercolor set or watercolor palette because it's really big, and I already have the I sure do, pastels, the oil pastels there, so yeah. All right, and I learned some stuff in yesterday's tutorial about how the transparent oil paints aphasia. Anyway, things about how the transparent works. So this strip here, I want to be able to take it back by scratching sgraffito down to the white-ish, which for me it's not really bright white, but that's okay. It'll be like one of the lightest values. And I'm gonna do up here too. Okay. And then I will do some here. You know, it seems a little bit silly to me to only do certain parts. So I'm actually going to, this gets very sticky. I'm just gonna pop this out. That works. They all break, and that's okay. Anyway, I'm just gonna do a transparent oil pastel layer over the entire image here, so that when I scratch through, it will go to the color that you're seeing right now. Or at least that's the theory. That's what I would like to happen. So, all right. And that should make it easier to blend things too, so it's all a big giant experiment. And you might notice I'm doing a different shape. Instead of straight lines with this one, excuse me, I am doing more circles, because that's what this image makes me think of, is things that are circular. So let's see how that goes. And I am cleaning my oil pastels as I go. And you'll notice I'm using colors that are not necessarily in the reference photo. And that's perfectly fine. because it is my world. I get to do what I want. And right now I'm wanting to add some different sorts of colors. And I'm going to put the structure, it looks like a gazebo in this picture, but it was actually a kiln, but it's just going to be a suggestion of some kind of color, or some sort of building. My neighbors have a very loud car, so if you heard that, that's what it is. Trailer parks are not necessarily known for having like expensive vehicles and things like that. I know I don't. And it's a very messy process. My rings are, I'll have to clean them later. All right, now let's start with some white here. One of the cool things about this medium is it's very much like oil painting in that the strokes are preserved. You can see it's a very swirly look, and it is part of the art of figuring out where I want those strokes and what I want to become dominant, because I can accidentally, very easily, erase something that I might not want to erase. But I think this is where the life of an image lives too, is that preserved hand. It's me, you know, and I love that. And when you do it, it'll be you, you know, and that's just such a beautiful process of making an image in your own style, your own way, is such a sacred and beautiful process, I think. Okay. I actually think that's beautiful. Those colors are just so vibrant. Okay, it's time to start a new white. And remember, when I'm doing a piece, I am interpreting the image how it feels more than, and that's the colors, the mood, the way the fingers are gliding through the oil color, the oil paint, oil pastel, and it just kind of becomes a dance. And I'm lucky to be friends with my first it was my elementary art teacher, but then he moved to the high school, so I had the pleasure of working with him in high school too. And I didn't really start doing art until I was about 14. And Mr. C, you know who you are if you're watching this. I love you to pieces, and you taught me really how to see. And thank you for that. That is a gift that I will never take for granted. You changed my life, you saved my life. And I love you, Mr. C. Always will. And how fortunate to have been able to reconnect with him through Facebook. Yeah. And remember, I consciously do not say names in my videos because I want, I need to make it more anonymous for safety for me, because I am a survivor of DV, domestic violence, and I have to, absolutely have to, keep my location confidential. And so I do, because I don't want my abuser to find me. But I can say Mr. C, because that could be many different people. Only the people who know, know. So that feels safe to say. And you know, it kind of sucks having to constantly worry about where I live, because I'm a person, I like to share things, and I don't feel safe sharing a lot of myself because of the location. So, domestic violence, the gift that just keeps on giving. I don't know if I like this. I don't think I do. And the beauty of it is I can start over and do it differently. That goes for art as well as life. Oh Lord, that's a big old bunch of oil pastel there. I like it much better without. Okay. That is the process of experimentation. And how awesome that if I don't like something, I can just come in here and change it. There's a life lesson in that, I think. And creating this channel where I am documenting my own healing journey through art, through long COVID, a stroke, multiple surgeries. I fell yesterday, which is a big deal in my world. I caught my foot on a rocking chair. I caught the toe of my shoe, and I went down hard. And I am in pain today, but you'll notice it's not stopping me. That's definitely something that chronic pain comes up in so many different ways. And people who live with chronic pain learn to mask it in a lot of ways. But I can tell you right now, when I'm done with my painting, I am going to go lay down. Because I'm also on blood thinners, which means that I can't take NSAIDs like aspirin or ibuprofen or Aleve. Aleve was the thing I used to use most often, but now I can't. And I can't do cannabis. For one reason, I live in Indiana. If you know anything about Indiana, you will know they are terrified of the 20th century, let alone the 21st century. It's a very conservative state. It's home. I'm used to it, you know. I am not a conservative human, but that's okay. I get it, truly. I was raised to be conservative and then realized that's not who I am as a human. And that's okay. Doesn't mean I hate conservative people. It doesn't mean that I hate or love anybody. It just means that I have different values from other people. And that's okay. In fact, it's beautiful. I think the things that make us us and different are amazing and so important. And that's as close as I'm ever going to get to politics on this channel. I am consciously trying to be a light in this world. And I have been trying to do that for a very long time. Because people are awesome. And people are terrible. There is no one thing there. Okay, and now I'm going to add like little lights or something. And to do that, I am going to come in here to one of my little scraper tools. We'll use this guy. And I'm just going to start. And I didn't preserve the white behind, and that's okay. I'm just making a spot for things to be. And actually, I'm really curious. I have this white acrylic ink, and this is oil. So we all know that oil and water don't necessarily play well together. But I'm going to see what happens if I ignore my rules, like I tend to do. And I just put a little bit of it on this plate. And now I'm going to come in here with a very small brush. This is a 10/0 brush. And I am literally just going to pick up a little bit. I don't think I need to do the dots first. And I'm going to spray this all when it's finished. So I think I'm just going to dot. But that's a great big one. That one's maybe too big. Oh well. And let me know if you enjoy me talking during a video or if you prefer it to be quiet. Because when I talk, I can't do the speed painting unless I get rid of what I said, which sometimes I do if I don't like it. Because This is my world, and I get to do whatever it is I want to do in my world. Yeah, just like you get to do whatever you want to do. And I'm going to add just a teeny tiny little bit of yellow liquid watercolor. This is Artfinity, and this is primary yellow. And I'm just going to add that to my white ink because I want to make some of these yellow. I think that would be pretty. And look, it looks like an egg. Kind of like fireflies or fairies or something. Oh, there it's doing the thing that I expected oil and water to do. So just as in art and life, you can change things. You don't have to stay with just one thing. If you don't like it, like I didn't like how the structure looked, so I decided to get rid of it. And I did. I like that kind of resist texture that I'm getting when I do this. I don't know if this is a reflection or what exactly, but I don't question things too much like this. I just go with what feels right. And it feels right to kind of mess up the lines there. Kind of like a reflection, but not really. And I'm going to have to wash this brush because I am getting oil pastel on it, and I have to recondition the brush so it doesn't destroy the brush. That looks too sharp to me. So I'm just going to come in here. You can see it, maybe it's soaking in a little bit. That's better. Oh, there's my neighbor. Yay. Not happy over here. Got muddy on me. And if that doesn't bring it back, and it did not, so I'm going to scrape some of it off. Bring some life back into it, maybe. All right, that does make me happier. Okay, I'm back. I was looking at this afterward, and I love this part. That part makes me happy. This part seems very unfinished to me. So I'm going to just do some things and see what I can come up with here. Okay, I am happier with that. So, with that said, I am going to officially now call this piece finished, and I hope this was enjoying for you to watch. And it's snowing here. It has been all morning. I'm really getting a little sick of it, but it is what it is. And this made my life just a little bit better. So until we meet again, my friends, do what makes you happy. And this has been Stroke by Stroke.